Hi, still Martin here, and today it's the 729th day of my project to wear clothes I made myself only. Um, and it's actually just one day until the project is completed because I figured that it was supposed to be 2 years. So anyway, today I thought I would show you a quick way to make drape or a basic pattern on a dress dummy, because I think pattern making is quite interesting, but sometimes you just want to do something a little bit quicker and a little bit more easy. There are many different ways to do these drapes, and usually you use measuring tapes and a lot of lines and rulers to do it complete and perfect, but I thought I would just do this a little bit easier. And excuse me for my English is not the most perfect language, but well, the language is perfect, but I'm not so perfect at that. So anyway, you use a dress dummy in a size that's somewhat like you, and then you use some fabric. And what you start out with is to measure somewhat the height of the pattern you want to make, and you probably will take a measurement a little bit higher than the neck because it's going up here, and you probably will use a little bit further down below the waist to make it more stable. So I just put this one up here, and I have about up here and down here, and then I just make a cut. And the question is how wide I want to make this, and I take it from center front and out to the side seam, and a little bit further just to make it more stable. So you take it off here, and say about around here, and then you just tear it in the size you want to have it. This will be the front. And again, to make it more stable, you just make a crease in the front about 8 to 10 centimeters. And then you place it up here. Be sure that you have at least 4 centimeters below the waist. You can have more if you want that. And then you place it in the front and pin it into place. I put 2 pins down here, again to make it more stable. And be sure to make a little bit room for the bust over here. If you place it too tightly, it will just transform or tilt over to one side. So you want to be snug over the bust, and then you want to have a little bit room here in the front. I place it up here, a little bit room, and pin it into place, and then you want to balance it. So you keep it up here, and then you put it snugly over the bust, and you want to make the thread go horizontally, we call it. If you think it will be difficult, you can look down below the waist to see that the line will be even down here. So I just put it over here and check the waist will be over here. Place it with 2 pins. Like that. Now as you can see, it's a little bit high over here, so I just lower it somewhat. Like that. And now we're going to make the neckline. And you don't want to cut it closer to the neckline because, again, if you cut it too closely, it's going to be wobbly because the fabric just, yeah, what do you call it? It becomes a little bit elastic if you don't have allowance enough. So you cut it further up. So you take it about up 4 centimeters, something like that, and then you cut it in a square up here, and then you can place it a little bit more snugly around the neck. So I go over here and make a cut up and make a cut like that, and then you can place it up here, and often you need some more cuts to place it, but still you have some allowance up here. So I cut a little bit, and then you probably can see, maybe, if you're lucky, that you can place it around the neck up here. So you want it flat on the front, a little bit room here, and snugly around the neck, still having some allowance. And then I can pin it up at the top of neck and shoulder intersection. Always put 2 pins so it's a little more stable. And then I can just mark the neck with my pencil. I just do some knots. Not knots, dots, of course. I can do knots later on. And make a mark in that center front. To secure the bust, you also would like to put 2 pins there. If you're working on dress dummy, otherwise you probably wouldn't like to do that. So now you got the front here, the neckline up here, and then you can place the shoulder too. And actually you can place the shoulder wherever you would like to have it. And then you can make an intersection at the arm side and shoulder point. Then we would like to make a dot down here, the waist dot. And you just look at the side here. You would like this to go snugly down the waist, but of course not too tightly. So just place it downwards here. Like that. And if you feel that the thread or the line, the thread of the fabric, or if you have a striped fabric, if it turns a little bit too much into the front, then we can higher this side up here. So if I just remove this, and over here you can actually see on the side that we can just balance this. You can take it a little bit further up, then the waist dot gets smaller and the bust dot gets larger, or you can tilt it forward, and then you can see the bust dot almost disappears and the waist dot gets bigger. So this will always be a balance, how you would like it to look. I would like it to have almost a similar, not similar, but almost the same size on the bust dot and the waist dot, and a straight line at the waist. So I balance this a little bit more up here and place the pins on the side. And I will pin down here on the side seam, and then I will remove the waist dot in a straight line down to the waist from the bust. And of course it's going to be too tight down here, so therefore we have to make some cuts up to the waistline too. then it's easier to place this again. Don't do it too tight because it would fit very badly then. And then you pin down from the waist to the waist from the bust. And then we can take the bust dot up here. And again, don't do it too tight. So it would look like that. And then I can mark all the way around. I can mark my waistline. Over here. And then I can mark my side seam. And I can mark my armhole or arm side down here. And I always like to roughly cut it when it's on the dress dummy. Of course, you're supposed to take it down, but I'll just do it up here. Make sure you don't cut in your dress dummy. That wouldn't be so nice for your economy. I cut up at the shoulder. I cut a little bit more at the neck. And I remove fabric at the arm side. And at the side seam. And then I also have to mark my bust point. And you would also like to mark the dart sides. Usually just mark at the bottom and at the top, and then you can just draw a straight line from that. And you would like to make a mark for your bust dart too, and in the armhole. And that's it. Now I would like to just mark it a little bit more so you can see it when I remove it. Of course, you want to be careful with this one, because otherwise you would draw ink on your dress dummy. So that's it, and I would like to draw a little bit more here, just so you guys will see how it looks afterwards. Like that, and I will remove the pins. So we can get a look at the pattern. So there you are. Maybe you can see it if I keep it up like this. That's a basic pattern. And then you can play with all of this. You can transform it into a revers or different things. We'll try that later, and tomorrow I will try to do the back too. So that's how you can do it if you want to do it quick and easy. And yeah, be sure to try it out. And if you want to ask me something, just send a mail to me. That was all for today. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.